Which is actually a really big deal because they don't just like give that out to anybody. So for the rainbow to be certified by the Asthma and Allergy Foundation, because it gets rid of 99%.
Yeah, it's like 99.97 or something.
Crazy. I mean, it's so close to 100. Gets rid of like all the toxins and the bugs and dead skin cells and poop, all the stuff that's floating around in the air because it's sucking it in there. But unlike a regular vacuum that has like the bags on it and stuff like that and the filters, when you turn on the vacuum, I mean, it's still, even the stuff that gets through the filters goes back out into the air. So the filter is your water. So I mean, everything gets caught in there. Nothing is going to go back out into your air because all the particles, all the poop, all the stuff like that goes into
It's a poopy situation.
gets caught into the water. So it's not going to go back out into the air. So you're not breathing it back in. So it's going to make your air a whole lot better to breathe in. Like our house, after we ran it for, cleaned everything and ran it in the house, I mean, you can tell. It's kind of like when you go to the mountains and you smell the air up there. It smells really crisp and clean. You'll notice like a difference in the air just in your house if you run this. You can run it, like it's running on low right now, but you can run it on high. It's like an airplane taking off. But you can run it on high. It'll run on high for up to 8 hours. It'll run on high for up to 8 hours. So, I mean, you could like turn it on when you go to the grocery store. You could turn it on when you go to work, but it's also got a safety thing in there. So if you've got the water level right in there, it'll run for up to 8 hours. Once it runs out of water and uses the water, it's got a safety feature, so it'll actually turn off. So it's not going to like burn your vacuum up or anything like that. It'll actually cut itself off.
We actually went to the gym the other morning. We left one of the scents in there, and we put it by the return vent. So
Yeah.
we're blowing
Oh, nice.
purified, clean, fresh smelling air into the return vent while we're at the gym for an hour and a half, come back. And you can tell the difference in your home. You really can.
Yeah,
That's
it's
so
weird.
awesome.
That's where we usually leave it, especially if we'll just around the house, we'll leave it on low like this, right by the return vent, so that it's, it's taking in all the toxins and stuff out of there, but it's putting that clean air into your return vent, so that's what it's actually putting back out into the house. But like I said, you can leave it running on low like this, all the 24/7 all the time, and that little hum, I didn't think I would get used to it because I don't like noises like that, but I actually don't even pay it attention anymore. I don't even realize it's running. Because we leave it going all the time because I want it pulling as much of that nasty poop out of the air as it can.
And one of my questions too about that was how much electricity does it burn up sitting on low? And they said it uses about the same, if not a little less, than just a normal house fan on the low setting.
Yeah,
So
or because if you realize, because normally what would you use for like scents for like your house, for that kind of candles. But I mean, like candles, you can't just leave them go. You have to worry about making sure your candles are blown out if you leave the house, or like the little humidifier things that you plug in, the little plug-ins in the wall. Those I didn't know it till the other day when I read. It was like crazy amount of electricity that like each one of those uses.
3 equals 1 refrigerator.
Yeah, and I think we had like 4 or something in the house, and I was like, I don't have them anymore, because I mean, that's crazy how much electricity just that little bitty plug-in uses.
Right.
But I mean, something like this, I mean, we leave fans going all the time anyway, so I mean, it's the same as leaving a fan going. Yeah, it's just another fan going. But this is actually going to help, because like, if you vacuum and then you dust your house and you go around, like I've done it before we had this, you can like dust and vacuum, go around, and there's stuff that's already got freaking dust on it again. Pisses me off, because I just clean my house and I've got dust
No,
around.
you didn't. Look at the dust.
I know. It's like,
You tried to clean.
I tried to clean, but with this, I mean, you're running it, and it's actually, like I said, I showed you the stuff that you're pulling up out of the air, and it's sucking in when you turn it on high, and you can auto stuff, like you can see how quick. I mean, none of that stuff, like all this oxygen that's pulling in, it pulls it in. So I mean, it's taking it out of the air, this stuff, so you're not breathing it in. And this stuff. See if you can guess this one. Mr. Smarty Pants.
We'll leave it running after about maybe a day, 2 days. That water will actually turn milky.
Really?
From the amount of
You'll
Dead
see.
skin
just from
cells.
dust, because 90% of dust is skin cells anyway.
I'll show you after I
See if you can smell it.
smell it.
I could like
What does it remind you of?
taste it. It's so
Do you smell it? What does it remind you of?
That's what it's
Does it remind you like of
I
a
mean,
like of a place you've been to? Does it remind you of anywhere like you've been?
Like a doctor's office?
Yeah, a doctor. There you go.
the
See?
Vicks, the
Ding,
Vicks-
ding, ding.
The Vicks smell more like doctor's office.
This is actually this stuff. What's the actual name for this stuff?
Triethylene glycol.
Yeah, it's like some
Took me
weird
forever
name.
to remember that.
Um, But yes, this stuff is actually like hospitals. They actually are
Triethylene
required
glycol.
by law. They actually have to put this in their filtration system because this stuff actually kills the allergies and the pollutions that are in your air. It kills it on contact. So you can actually like put this in there, and I don't want my house smelling like hospital. So you can actually put this in there and run it, and then put one of the scents on top of it, and it's actually still gonna kill all the stuff that's floating in the air, but you don't have to smell it. So you can
Smell it,
put like the berry. You can put this in there and then put the berry on top of it and cover it up, and that way you don't have to smell like a hospital. But it's still killing everything, and that lasts for the 6 hours.
Actually, that like a
Is it
capful
longer?
is like 24 hours. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
So a capful of that would last 24 hours running through the vacuum. So you don't have to, and that's one thing, you don't have to every time you want to change your scents or change out, you don't have to dump it out, get clean water and all that. It's just, you can put the other scent in there on top of that. So let's see, just from what we've been sitting here.
Now we're gonna gross
You
you
the one that
out.
been over there scrubbing.
So you see, you see that?
Uh-uh.
Isn't that crazy?
I mean, that's just from the little bit that we've been sitting here. That's just the
Particles.
poop that you're breathing and the particles, your dead skin. I mean, that's all that it's pulling. That's not even, we haven't even vacuumed yet. That's all that it's pulled
You
in
see,
just
you
from
can't
us
vacuum.
breathing.
Because then you say, God, they don't never clean.
No, I'm telling you,
It's every house. Trust
yeah.
me.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you, when we had them come to our house when they did our demo, I mean, I'm OCD. We clean all the time. He's worse than I am. We clean all the time. And we had actually just cleaned before she came. And she came and did the demo, and we had just vacuumed, and she went over our carpet, and I was like, which like everybody
That
is, they say
beautiful
we're
rug.
embarrassed. I'm like, oh.
Last night.
Yeah, and I have a fluffy
I
rug in my
know.
living room.
It's
The
still
stuff that it pulled out of my rug was horrible. I'm like, oh, but I mean, it made me feel better after we got it, and I could clean with it to see the stuff that I'm pulling out of there, and like just my carpets after I vacuumed all my carpets with it and the rug with it. My carpets felt fluffy again. The rug we paid good money for that rug when we bought the house. We'd only had it 6 months. And it had already started to kind of like mat down just from the wear and tear on it, the dirt that was in it and that kind of stuff. But after we vacuumed with it with the rainbow, it's like all fluffy again, like we just bought it. So that's why I say it saves. I mean, it's going to save. We have real hardwood floors in the bottom part of our house too. It's going to save the life of that. It's going to save from freaking grinding in it and the dirt and stuff like that. So it actually will save you money in the long run. Have you been listening? Excuse me.
What'd you do, Farm?